the Eleaf MELO 300. How's it going, everybody? This is Andy with AskMalleyVapes.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Eleaf MELO 300. Before we do get started though, I just want to say that this is a sample just for testing purposes that was sent over by Eleaf. So on the final version they might make some tweaks and make some improvements on here, but I do just want to let you guys know that this is just a sample compared to the actual final release product. So like always, we're going to go over the basics, then have a quick vape on it, dive in, take a close-up look at the tank, see what it comes with, take a look at the coils, bring it back up top, have a few more vapes around it, play around with the different wattage settings, and then I'll give you my overall thoughts so far on the Eleaf MELO 300. So starting off with the basics on the MELO 300, it does come in two different sizes. Both are going to be 26 millimeters in diameter, but one is going to have a 6.5 milliliter e-liquid capacity, and the other one is going to have a 3.5 milliliter e-liquid capacity. This right here is the 6.5 milliliter e-liquid capacity version, and the height on here is 60 millimeters, while the height on the 3.5 milliliter version is 55 milliliters. So the 3.5 milliliter version is pretty much the same tank. It's just vertically shrunken down a little bit. The MELO 300 does have top filling, and it's a little bit different, but I'll show you guys that better in the close-up here in a second. On the bottom here, it does have dual adjustable airflow, massive airflow down here on the bottom. The airflow on here reminds me a lot of the Arctic V12 tank. The coils that come in here are the new Eleaf ES coils, and they come in at 0.17. They're sextuple coils, and they are fantastic, but we'll take a look at that too in the close-up here in a second. There is a rebuildable deck option with this, but it doesn't come with the MELO 300. The wattage range on these 0.17 ohm coils is from 1 to 300 watts. All right, let's go ahead and have a quick vape. This is at 100 watts here. This is with some of the Dr. Sugar chits inside of here. 0.17 ohm coil inside. Alrighty, here you have the packaging on the MELO 300. You can see sample on the top right corner. For testing purposes only, right down here. This is a sample version. On the back here you can see the specs. This is the 6.5 milliliter version. Comes with two of the 0.17 ohm coils, a user manual, and some spare parts. Open it on up, you'll have the MELO 300 right here and another replacement coil. Slide that out, you'll get a pack of additional O-rings. You get this little warning card here, making sure you have the coil screwed in all the way. And then you'll get a real small here little user manual that just shows you a little bit about the tank and how to put the coil in and how to fill it up, all that good stuff. All right, here you can see the ES 0.17 ohm coil. You can see it's rated from 100 to 300 watts. Massive coils here. Now that is a sextuple coil, so you take a look from the top. You can see there's three vertical coils stacked on top of each other. So you've got three coils right here, three coils right here. Around the base here you have three of the cotton intakes. And then on the bottom you can see the massive airflow on this Eleaf MELO 300 coil. Massive airflow, very nice coil overall, machined very well. You can see a size comparison next to the Smkon KUMO coils, which are pretty big coils in themselves, but this does give you a good example of how big the Eleaf 300 coils are. Here you can see the difference in airflow on the bottom between these coils, that massive airflow on the Eleaf 300 coil compared to this tighter airflow on the left. And this kit just comes with two of these coils. The one pre-installed is the 0.17, and then you do get this additional one right here. Here you can see the Eleaf MELO 300 up close, dual adjustable airflow on the bottom, some massive airflow down there on the bottom. It does lock into place when it's fully opened and fully closed. You can see it's whatever happens on one side will be replicated on the other side. Inside there you have that sextuple 0.17 ohm coil. You have the removable wide bore drip tip up on top. And then here is your top filling. It's sort of like on the RT22 and 20, but it's not as smooth. Now this is just a sample unit here, but sometimes it can be a little bit rough getting this open. It's not as fluid as the Eleaf RT22 and 25 is. But to open it, you just push down there. Slides open. I'd like to see this fill port a little bit bigger. When you are using just your standard dropper bottle, sometimes you'll get a little bit of extra e-liquid around the sides there. Unicorn bottles aren't a problem, but these dropper bottles can be a little bit of a pain sometimes. Thankfully the Dr. Sugar Chits does come with a free unicorn bottle though. That is my main gripe though on this tank right here, is just I'd like to see that fill hole a little bit bigger, and then I'd like to see a smoother opening and closing system. The one good thing though is you know it's not going to open by itself. You do have to put some force into it, but when closing it though, it just grinds a little bit and it's not the smoothest. Real quick, you can see the system that they had on the RT. This is the RT22. This is just a much smoother overall experience opening and closing it this way on these Eleaf RT tanks. I really wish they would have included this style on the MELO 300, but I'm sure there's a reason why they did not. If having the mod and tank flush is a big thing to you, you will want to double check to make sure your mod can handle a 26 millimeter for it sitting flush. Obviously you won't have a problem using this on most mods, but in terms of sitting flush, you will want to double check that. It's going to take care of the close-up. Let's bring it back up top, have a few more vapes on it, play around with the wattage, and I'll give you my overall thoughts on the Eleaf MELO 300. Alright, now we've got that close-up out of the way, let's go ahead and have a few more vapes on it, play around with the wattage. Before the close-up, that was at 100 watts there. Right now I've got it bumped up to 140. Still got the 0.17 ohm coil in here, and I do still have the Dr. Sugar Chits The Raz in here as well. Fantastic e-liquid. I can't wait to try their honeydew that they just came out with as well. At 140 watts there, the performance is fantastic. The one thing about these coils though, even before the close-up at 100 watts, usually at the minimum range on a coil, I feel like it underperforms and it needs a little bit more power. But this coil inside of here, the 0.17 ohm coil, it works great at 100 watts still. It's a nice smooth overall vape. Not too warm. Even at 140 watts there when I bumped it up, it wasn't too warm. Alright, so I did swap out that Smkon 1.5 to the IPV8 right here. I've got the IPV8 at 190 watts. Still have that 0.17 ohm coil. Let's go ahead and have a vape. Very surprising there at 190 watts. That's still extremely vapable. I normally vape about 150, 160 watts less than this right now, but at 190 watts on this 0.17 ohm coil, it's still a very smooth vape. Let's go ahead and bump it up to 230 watts, which is the max on the IPV8. All right, we've got the IPV8 at 230 watts now. Let's have a vape. Alright, at 230 watts there, very, very surprising. It's still a super smooth vape. Not any hints of a dry hit at 230 watts. And like I said, I normally vape around 40 watts or so. So vaping at 230 watts and still having a smooth experience is fantastic. I would have been able to keep on vaping on it, but the IPV8 gave me the too hot error here. But man, very, very surprising. 230 watts is not a problem. Let's go ahead and have one more at 230 watts. These coils right here on the Eleaf 300 are fantastic. They vape at the high wattages fine without a problem. I'm not concerned about a dry hit in the least bit vaping at 230 watts. My overall first impression on this tank are I absolutely love it. I think it is fantastic. Would I personally use it every single day? I don't think so, because it's a 26mm diameter tank and I like the more stealthy, sleek setups rather than the larger diameter setups like the 26mm on this one. If I was to choose a bigger setup to use all the time, the Eleaf 300 would definitely be in my considerations for my tanker RDTA that I would be using. The only one con that I have on it right now is the top feeling, how it slides out. Like you guys saw in the close-up, sometimes you can have a little bit of a problem sliding it out. But this is also a sample version. This is not the final production unit right now. So I did let Eleaf know about that, and so they can get that fixed up before they do release the final version. But other than that, that was the only con I have, and it's not really a big con at all because it's still pretty easy to slide open every single time. I just like the style on the RT22 and the RT25 a little bit better. I would like to see some more coil options released for this, but I'm sure Eleaf will do that, and I'd also like to give the rebuildable deck a shot. But I'm still very, very happy with this 0.17 ohm coil inside of here, and I'm very curious about the TFV12. Looking forward to give that one a try, because it definitely has a lot to live up to with the Eleaf 300. Once I get the TFV12, I will 100% guarantee do a comparison between the Eleaf 300 and the TFV12. But as of right now, that TFV12 has a lot to live up to because this thing is an absolute beast right here. That's pretty much going to wrap up this video though. If you guys have any questions on the Eleaf MELO 300 or any other vape related questions in general, please leave a comment down below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated. And as always, vape on.